I came across something the other day on Facebook that I wanted to talk about because this concept that black women need to invest in broken, low level, low quality men and build them up is one that is frequently promoted all over the internet, even by male relationship coaches. They promote that, what I call struggle love, to women, and it's not promoted to any other ethnicity of women other than African American women. I don't know why that is, but I have my suspicions, but I'll keep them to myself. This is the meme or whatever the post that I ran across. I want you to see this. I will read it to you. It says, "Black women, believe in your man as if your life depended on it, and he will has no choice but to rise to the occasion. You have been letting us off the hook by supporting our lower level, cowardly, and dysfunctional behavior. You have the power to put us back together. You have the power to resurrect our nation. You have the power to achieve all the goals and dreams that you desire. Just remember, it all starts with you focusing on and investing in the black man first. You thought that once you acquired the career, the house, the car, and the clothes, that you could plug in the black man as the final step. It didn't work. Invest your time and energy into your man first, and all the things you want in life will fall into place. Make sure you select the right man that practices righteousness, humility, and embraces his higher consciousness. Otherwise, you will be setting yourself up for failure later on. Peace and love." And his name is there at the top. Now, I wanted to go over this because, at first glance, you might not really see what this is, which is brainwashing. Basically, it's telling you that all the things that you do for yourself, it didn't come to you, didn't get anything out of it because at the end you didn't have a man. As if that's the sole reason that a woman lives and that she's just going to be miserable if she has all these other things if she doesn't have a man. Do you understand the mentality here? Okay, then he says that if you believe in him as if your life depended upon, he has no choice but to rise to the occasion. We all know that is not factually incorrect. Too many women have invested in men that they were married to, even putting him through school, letting him find himself while they support the family and doing all this kind of stuff. And what did he get them except a broken heart and used up? Saying supporting our lower level cowardly and dysfunctional behavior. I mean, what else is there if the man is looking for a woman to help make him be the man that he dreams of being? Any man with this mentality that he promotes here is a coward. Not only that, he's a lazy bum. He's dysfunctional and he's operating at his lower vibration because he's looking for someone else to step in and do the work that he should be doing for himself. As this meme right here says, there's nothing better, there's nothing stronger than a man who has been broken and pulls himself back together. Himself. There's nothing better on this planet than a self-made man. His confidence is off the charts. He believes in himself, and so he gets it done. He's not looking for some woman to hold his hand and pull him through life on her coattails, on her skirt tails. That's not how it's done, son. So as a woman, we do have the power to put men back together, but why should we? What's in it for us? That's your job to do, sir, to put yourself back together. Even as the nursery rhyme says in Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. So if all of that is going on with all the king's horses and all the king's men, what you think you gonna do, one woman, to put a grown man back together? Stop it. Don't even think about this kind of stuff. If you have a man that comes to you and he's all needy and he's got his hand out, pass him by because he's not ready. This guy wants you to focus on and invest in a man first before you invest in yourself. Are you crazy? And notice he's not saying anything about being married. He didn't say your husband. He didn't say anything like that. He's just like, the black man. Who are these men that you're supposed to be getting all these services from women? See, this whole thing, if you really read it and really understand what's going on here, is very negative and is designed to manipulate and coerce you into giving up your dreams and giving men your energy, your time, your money, and investing everything that you should be investing in yourself and your children in them. They get to be a lazy bum and sit on their butt while you do all the work going around doing investing in him. That is should be something that he does for himself or with the help of other men. Be sure that you get this clear, ladies. This is not your job. I don't care this conversation about, supporting your man and being his helpmeet and submitting and all this old stuff that they like to promote to black women. Stop listening to that crap. Don't do it. If you have your career and your house and your car and you can't plug in a black man, you know why you can't do that? Because all the time with the energy that you spent into acquiring your career, your house, and your car, he was standing around just waiting for some woman to come and do it for him. So he's sitting there being a bum, not doing anything, dusty as hell. And so he's waiting for you to get everything so he can come and just, get on your coat, like I say, get on your skirt tails and ride to glory and have you pop him up and do everything for him to get him to be the man that he wanted to be in the first place. But he didn't take any steps towards it. He didn't do anything. He sat his butt on the couch playing video games. He ran on the corner talking about, well, the white man. Or he sits online ranting and raving about what black women don't do and how they're not not raised to be wives anymore. What are you doing as a husband? What are you doing as a potential husband? What are you doing for yourself as a potential father? What are you doing for the kids that you have now, making yourself greater so they have someone to be proud of? What are you doing so that your mother can brag about you? They're all lazy bums, and you sit around trying to promote this kind of stuff. And that women should invest in them first. Fuck all that. Don't invest in a man ever. You know what? It's like the only part about here about that he wrote here that I agree with. The only part I agree with, rather, God, I'm tongue-tied here, is that he says to select the right man that practices righteousness, humility, and embraces higher consciousness. But that's not all you have to look for. I mean, those things sound good, but what does that really mean? When you think about it, what does that mean? Those are great words and they sound good, and it's some of that Hotep circular talk. But in actuality, what does that really mean? So, you got to figure out what does it look in practical application when he's doing these things, when he is behaving in a way that's righteous, when he embraces higher conscience. What actions and behaviors does that look like? That's what you have to think about. Don't think about these buzzwords that they like to throw around because it sounds good and like they're all learned and have an IQ over 100, which is really what they really have. Don't fall for the okie doke. Don't get deluded by the words. They know women love words. You will hear them say all kind of crazy stuff and you won't even really understand what they're talking about, but you won't ask because it sounds good and you're following the words. Ladies, you have to stop listening to what they say and watch what they do. And a man like this who's looking for you to come in and do everything for him while he spits all this game is nobody that you should ever give even 5 minutes of your time to. He is not ready. He's not ready for prime time, and he's nobody that you should want to invest in. Invest in your children. Invest in yourself. Just like the Urban Dictionary describes a broken man as a person who, they accumulate irreparable damage throughout their entire life, and their damage, they can't be easily repaired, if at all. So if you have a man like that and he's, begging for your energy and your time and your focus, he's not anybody that you should be looking at. He has low self-esteem. Most of them have a real feeling of inadequacy and not being good enough. That's why they need all this propping up. They have an extreme fear of rejection. They really are very distrustful of other people, especially women. But at the same time, though, they want you to help them. They refuse to be vulnerable or soft. They act like they know everything. They got it under control, but they really don't. They're really incapable of loving you. They're going to use you and they're going to play the role, but they're not going to really be loving you. And a man like this, he's not even loving himself, because if he were loving himself, he wouldn't be sitting around waiting for you to invest in him. He would be investing in himself. Am I making myself clear here? He's not investing in himself, so why should you? Why are you doing more work for him to better him than he's willing to do for himself? You need to ask yourself that, okay? And in the meantime, if you see these kinds of memes and the guys promoting this kind of struggle love, please make sure that you warn your daughters, young teenagers, because they need to have some information that counters this kind of behavior, this kind of attitude. They don't know. And it's our job as their elders to educate them. It's Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com. I'll talk to you real soon.